Hi friends. I wanted to pop in with just a little invitation because 30 Days of Thriving begins 1 week from tomorrow on November 1st. It's a new moon. I know, I planned it because new moons are beautiful times to set new seeds of intention. But apart from that special date of when it begins, I wanted to check in because I'm feeling something really, truly like in my core right now. And I wondered if you were too. And if you are, I would say, please join us because 30 Days of Thriving is designed for you. So here's what I'm feeling. I'm noticing this push-pull within myself and around me of relying on external sources for my own peace, my own joy, my own fulfillment, my own ability to be present, right? Relegating how we feel to outside circumstances. This happens because we're human, right? We wake up, we see the sun shining, we feel one way. We see the rain, we feel another way. Totally human, right? But how often do we allow our energy to become dictated by all the outside stuff, right? You too? Yeah? And I feel like I should have this better under control. But even that, right? Control, that's an illusion. What I'm here to tell you is it is possible. And what I know about myself is that the thing that made a difference for me, and I say this knowing that it's still a practice that I get to catch myself in and get to bring myself back to, is beginning to learn to trust my inner wisdom. And that learning to trust my inner wisdom happens when I allow circumstances to unfold in exactly the way they want to unfold, instead of at the pace that maybe I'd like them to unfold, which oftentimes would be faster or differently, right? Or when I allow myself to notice unexpected things, or to take a right turn instead of a left turn just because something told me to, right? Or when I allow the weather to be whatever it is. This sounds so silly. And I'll give you another example. So I was just in Maine leading this fabulous retreat. And I've been planning this retreat for like 6 months, 9 months, however long it's been. Interviewed chefs way back in this late spring to get all organized. I had a chef. It was going to be amazing. About 2 weeks ago, I was on the train with my daughter, going from Chicago to Milwaukee for a long weekend. And the gist of what happened was that chef emailed me and said for personal reasons they could no longer support the retreat. And I was like, what? Friends, I had a little thing happening. I was not well in that moment. I mean, I was flipping out. Not allowing, by the way, not allowing. So this is happening. So then I pause, and my daughter, who is perhaps one of my best teachers, I always say we are our best teacher, and that's true. She's also one of my best teachers. I was like, all right, pause. What do you need? I was like, I need to breathe. I'm just going to take some breaths. And then I thought about, what do I know for sure? Well, I know some local individuals, the Airbnb hosts, some practitioners that were going to support us. They probably know people. Eddie is right here. He wants to say hi to you too. And so I started reaching out. And then I had 2 amazing chefs that were possibly able to support us, and then 1. And when I tell you that this chef was the most perfect fit, I mean, I am not exaggerating. Perfection. And I've worked with some amazing chefs. I would hands down work with this chef over and over and over again, right? It was perfection. But it wouldn't have happened, and it wouldn't have been perfection if I had stayed in my head, if I was trying to control every moment. Because even along the way, right, there were things that I had to allow. Because then so many things, friends. Allowing, right? Allowing is not waving a white flag, but allowing is energetically being grounded and connected to yourself, that you can be present with what is instead of graspy or judgy or clingy, right? And then trusting your own inner wisdom. Those 2 things together, right? Being present, allowing, trusting your inner wisdom. That's how we thrive in life versus relegating how we feel to all the outside circumstances or seeking the validation, right, that comes from reaching a goal or feedback or praise. I mean, look, friends, I'm human. I get excited too when people sign up for things or people give me feedback, right? Of course. And of course you feel that way too. And yet, there is nothing like being so rooted in trust for your inner voice, your energy. That's the key to thriving. And it begins with remembering, right? Remembering you. Remembering what feels like peace, what ignites your joy, remembering who you are and who you are not. That is where we can allow. I'm not talking about not having boundaries, friends. Have boundaries, but allow the boundaries to be aligned to what makes you you. And instead of thinking about the boundaries of only what you want to keep out, what about the inner boundary of what you want to create space for? I'm like a little bit on my soapbox right now. I hope that this feels okay and that maybe this is a nudge for you. So this is my question to you. What would be different in your life if you started allowing your thriving to be defined by how you honor your future self, how you tend to your future self, instead of relying on all those external sources? If this got you worked up, your heart beating just a little bit, or is feeling like a big exhale, or like any and all the above, I would love for you to join us. 30 Days of Thriving is going to be amazing, and it's going to be creating space to allow mini moments of thriving one day at a time, no matter what's happening. Because look, friends, the next few weeks, the next month are going to be a bit crazy. They just are. Politically, I'm not going to all of it. It's going to be a little bit crazy. So instead of allowing all of that to sidesweep our energy, why not commit, double down on devotion to you in a sacred container of community? Because that sacred container of community is going to hold us. It's going to invite us to be seen by others and show up for ourselves, not as one more thing to add to your to-do list, but as daily acts of service. Because, oh, by the way, right, your journey to thriving isn't a destination. It is, in fact, a journey. So, if you are ready to allow ease to guide you and offer yourself maybe even unconditional love for the next 30 days, I would love for you to turn towards yourself, towards your inner truth, towards your joy, to coming home to yourself and say yes to 30 Days of Thriving. The link is right below. It's right there. Just press on it. Or if you have questions, hit reply. And if you've watched this whole thing and maybe have smiled at some point along the way, mwah, mwah, mwah. Grazie. Thank you. All right, friends. Bye for now.